It was just past 10:11 a.m. on February 20th, 2025, when Carroll County Dispatch received a frantic 911 call from a neighbor in the quiet rural town of Tyus, Georgia. The voice on the line was trembling. She said she'd heard gunshots echo from the Patrick residence, a modest, off-white house nestled between bare winter trees. It wasn't a place where violence happened. People in Tyus knew each other, trusted their neighbors. Doors were left unlocked. Kids played in open fields. It wasn't the kind of place where murder walked in broad daylight. But what deputies would find inside that house didn't belong to a sleepy southern town. On the living room floor, they discovered the body of 37-year-old Bobby Ray Folsom, Sarah's stepfather, his shirt soaked red. Just down the hallway, in the master bedroom, 42-year-old Jessica Patrick lay motionless on the bed. Both had been shot. No sign of forced entry, no sign of struggle. The only person inside the house when they arrived was Sarah Grace Patrick, 17 years old, straight A student, varsity cheerleader, church choir singer, a girl with a shy smile and perfect GPA. When officers arrived, she appeared calm, too calm, sitting on the couch, scrolling on her phone. She asked if her mom was okay. When told that her parents hadn't made it, she covered her mouth in shock, but the tears never came. By evening, the news began to ripple across Tyus like wildfire, and that's when things took a turn no one could have predicted. Because while forensics began taping off the scene and detectives ran fingerprints and ballistics, Sarah was posting TikToks. The first one came just after 6:47 p.m. A video of Sarah lip-syncing to a trending audio about grief and strength, her eyes swollen, her hands trembling. Text on the screen read, "Even when life falls apart, stay strong, beautiful soul." Soft filters blurred her face. Sad music played in the background. The comments exploded with sympathy. "Sending prayers, Queen. Can't believe what happened. Stay strong. She doesn't deserve this." But there was something off. Just 2 hours later, she uploaded another video, this time in her bedroom, framed by LED lights. The caption read, "Grieving is not linear." In the clip, Sarah stared blankly into the camera. Still no tears, still no emotion. One follower asked, "Is this about your mom?" She didn't reply. By midnight, the TikToks had over 400,000 views. The next morning, as detectives combed through digital records, Sarah did something else, something no one, not even the police, saw coming. She reached out to a popular true crime influencer, a YouTuber known for dramatizing fresh murder cases with clickbait titles and dark music. In her DM, Sarah introduced herself. She offered to help tell the story. She even sent photos of the crime scene, some taken before officers had even arrived. The influencer was suspicious. He forwarded the messages to local law enforcement. Within 48 hours, Sarah Grace Patrick was arrested and charged as an adult with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault. As the investigation unfolded, police discovered the murder weapon, a Smith & Wesson .380 handgun, hidden in a shoebox beneath Sarah's bed. Her fingerprints were on the grip. Ballistics matched the bullets found in both victims. There was no sign of forced entry, no evidence of an intruder. Only one set of prints led from the living room to the master bedroom, Sarah's. But here's the part that keeps investigators awake at night. No clear motive. There was no abuse reported, no signs of struggle in the home, no suicide note. No drugs, no boyfriend drama, no history of mental illness. Sarah had never even been suspended from school. To friends, she was normal, quiet sometimes, artistic. She loved journaling and baking. Her Instagram was filled with smiling selfies, prom dresses, and quotes from Taylor Swift lyrics. She was the kind of girl teachers called a role model. But inside her bedroom, investigators found something else. A series of handwritten pages tucked into the back of her geometry textbook. One line stood out, repeated over and over, like a chant. "I am the author of this story." Psychologists would later describe it as a God-complex narrative, a delusional sense of control and storytelling, like she believed she could script life, death, and aftermath, like an online series. The TikToks, the outreach to influencers, even the grieving captions, none of it was spontaneous. It was premeditated, meticulously choreographed, like she wasn't mourning, she was directing. Her TikTok account, once a collection of dance routines and makeup tutorials, was now the subject of national headlines. News anchors used words like chilling, narcissistic, and sociopathic, but those who knew her still couldn't believe it. Her biology teacher, Mrs. Kellerman, wept on camera during an interview. "I had her in class just last week. She turned in her lab early. She was polite. She asked me how my husband was doing. On the outside, she was perfect. On the inside, no one really knew." The story gripped America. TikTok killer, some called her. The grieving daughter murderer, others said. But as the trial loomed, prosecutors faced a deeper question. Was she a cold-blooded killer or a broken child with an unfathomable Trauma no one saw? A sealed report from Child Protective Services hinted at family tensions, emotional abuse, a turbulent relationship with her stepfather, unexplained bruises years earlier. But nothing concrete, nothing that explained 2 bullets, nothing that explained why she smiled in the second TikTok video, or why she watched it loop again and again, minutes after uploading it. The courtroom, packed with reporters and community members, fell into stunned silence when prosecutors played the surveillance footage from the hallway camera, the only angle from the house security system still intact. It showed Sarah calmly walking from her room to the kitchen at 9:58 a.m., retrieving the handgun from a drawer her mother thought was locked, then turning slowly toward the hallway. Her face was expressionless. 3 minutes later, 2 lives were gone. Her defense attorney argued diminished capacity, that Sarah had disassociated, that she was living in an altered state shaped by trauma, media addiction, and untreated mental illness. But the prosecution had a different narrative, that Sarah had planned every moment like a viral arc, tragedy, sympathy, fame.
And now, as she sits in a juvenile detention center, awaiting trial, charged as an adult, Sarah Grace Patrick is both a mystery and a mirror. A mystery because no one truly knows what she was thinking. A mirror because her story reflects something deeper about a generation raised on clicks, likes, and curated emotion, where the line between performance and reality has blurred, where even grief can be staged, where a murder becomes a script and the killer a star. But behind the TikToks and hashtags and headlines, 2 people are still dead. A mother and a stepfather. A family shattered. A small town left haunted. And at the center of it all, a 17-year-old girl who may never fully explain why, and maybe she never planned to.